Hurricane Beryl wreaked havoc in many countries, killing 7 and 4 missing. Tarushi and Dilhani qualified for Paris Olympics. Now for those and other stories in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe stressed the importance of those entering the teaching profession dedicating themselves to the future generation, noting that education in a country cannot thrive without discipline.
He declared that no one would be permitted to disrupt school education between 7:30 and 1:30 p.m. He said that directly Attorney General to consider further measures to ensure this. The President made these remarks while attending a ceremony at Temple Trees today, where the appointments were awarded to officers of the Education Administrative Services as well as teaching appointments to graduates and diploma holders. Appointments were granted to 60 individuals approved by the Education Services Committee of the Public Service Commission, and teaching positions were awarded to 1,706 graduates and 453 English diploma holders. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that our future is our children. The President said that is why the government is committed to equipping the next generation with new knowledge and modern technology in a changing world. He said that the responsibility we all share is this. Therefore, everyone entering this honorable position should be dedicating their service to the future generation and must be disciplined. He said that today's schools must uphold discipline. He added that the strikes in schools are detrimental and unjustified. In 2022, under President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's administration, the only salary increases were for teachers. He said that this year he provided a stipend of 10,000 rupees for all government employees, and that given the country's economic situation, further increases were not feasible, saying that some trade unions have requested revisions and additional salary increases, which are surprising considering teachers already have received 2 salary increments. He said that recently teachers went on strike, abandoning their classrooms to protest at Colombo Fort railway station. He said that the university students and others joined demonstrating that attempting to reach a presidential secretariat amid event tear gas, and added that while protesters are not new, such actions do not benefit the honorable teaching profession. He said that single medium schools had to face disruptions. He said that the children from rural areas attend these schools, and that he questions whether this is a responsibility of the teaching profession. He added that the teachers of the Tamil and Muslim schools recognize the importance of education. He said that when single medium schools in places like Nuwara were disrupted, education continued in Tamil medium schools. The President said that such disparities should not exist in the country. No one, whether directly or indirectly, should disrupt school education from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. He said that he has requested the Attorney General to propose a measure regarding this issue, saying that it is imperative that education of children is not hindered by school closures or strikes. He added that our actions must be taken with future generation in mind. Therefore, the President urged everyone to prioritize the future of our school children. He said that particularly he appealed to the opposition not to endorse such actions or sabotage education. Minister Susil Premajan said that he urged not to jeopardize the future of our children by accepting these appointments and participating in trade union actions. He said that in the past, teachers took trade union action against a bill proposed by Minister of Education, Irigolle, the teaching children without signing the book. He said that he believes such action should deserve be commendable examples. After the ceremony, President had a discussion with newly appointed teachers and officials and inquired about their problems.
The remains of late parliamentarian R. Sampanthan, the leader of the Tamil National Alliance, were placed at the Parliament complex this evening. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Speaker and the public representatives paid their last respects to the late politician. Large crowds gathered to the Boralla private funeral parlour to pay their last respects to the late politician. His body was taken to the Parliament complex according to the Parliament tradition. His body was taken to the Parliament complex according to the Parliament traditions. Public representatives, diplomatic officers, Parliament staff and many others paid their last respect to the late politician. Parliamentarian Vajrabhayawardena made floral tributes to the late politician on behalf of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Later, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena paid his last respects with floral tributes. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa also paid homage to his colleague. Then opposition leader Sajith Premadasa paid the last respect, and then parliamentarian Lakshman Kiriyalla. Later party leaders, parliamentarians, diplomatic officials paid the last respects to the late politician. Issuing a condolence message, President Ranil Wickremesinghe states that late politician R. Sampanthan dedicated his life to find justifiable solutions for the problems faced by the Sri Lankan Tamil people. He says that he is deeply regretted by the demise of this veteran politician. He rendered a great service to Sri Lankan community and the Tamil community as a lawyer and later as a politician. He held the leadership of Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi and later the Tamil National Alliance. He raised his voice to safeguard rights of the Tamil people in Sri Lanka. President Ranil Wickremesinghe further says that R. Sampanthan first entered in Parliament in 1977 along with him. The President says that late R. Sampanthan had expressed his views always to find a lasting solution for the ethnic problem in the country. The President further says that he expresses condolences of Professor Maitri Wickremesinghe to the family members. Remains of late politician R. Sampanthan will be placed at the Kamde Selva Auditorium in Jaffna from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow for public respect. The final rites is scheduled to be held in Trincomalee on Sunday.
Police have started investigations into the death of two children students who fell from the 67th floor of the Altair luxury apartment complex in Kompanjavidya in Colombo. Investigations are being carried out based on CCTV footage. Police suspect the two students committed suicide. According to the police, victims are a 15-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy. Both were students of the same class in the grade 10 in an international school in Colombo. The students have come to a gymnasium located in the 5th floor of the apartment complex, and after changing their school kits, reached the 67th floor using an outside staircase. Police suspect later they have jumped out of the building. Their bodies were found in an air conditioning unit in the 3rd floor of the 70-storied housing complex. The male student is a resident of Vallabhat area and the female student is from Kalniya area.
The SLFP membership of Dayasri Jayasekara is suspended temporarily. The relevant letter under the signature of present SLFP chairman was sent to Dayasri Jayasekara in line with the court order issued yesterday. Views were expressed in this connection at a media briefing held in Colombo today. State Minister Lasanthala Giyawana said that he was subjected to a ban for several months. He said he did not join other political parties during this period. However, Das Wijayasekara, on the very day he was banned, was appointed as a leader of another political alliance. This is a drama of Vijayadasa Part 2. Under Vijayadasa Part 1, no member of another party can accept a position in the SLFP. According to the files at the Elections Commission, he is the leader of the Humanitarian Alliance. Therefore, he is unable to hold any position in the SLFP. This is not allowed under party rules.
Good news is popular in the present in the political arena. These days, there was a heated debate in the Parliament yesterday regarding the both good and bad news. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa asked if it's good or bad for the children to suffer from malnutrition. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said it is bad. That's why we implemented the Aswasuma program, providing 10 kilos of rice to low-income families for 2 months. That's why the school feeding program was started. Then the opposition leader asked whether the unemployment is good or bad. President Wickremesinghe said because unemployment is bad, we have started new factories and brought in new investment. Then the opposition leader asked whether the poverty is good or bad. The president said that poverty is bad. That is why 2 million people are being granted free land rights under the National Urumaya program, and that's why 250,000 people living in flats are being given ownership of their homes. What more should be done? Then the president asked the question from the opposition leader that when the country's economy was in ruins and the people were suffering, was it right to run away in fear instead of taking on the premiership? Are you okay with that?
Now, intellectuals say that the country has become economically stable at present. Venerable Dr. Lagumdeniye Piratanathera said that no other country in the recent history has come out of such a crisis within a very short period. However, the president has been able to save the country under his far-sighted policies. 2 years ago, there were fuel, gas and medicine queues. People were seen lamenting along the roads. Ranil Wickremesinghe is the only leader who can steer the country towards development.
Dr.
Ruwan Pereira said that since the president has made the country stable, it is easy for the entrepreneurs to invest in this country. For this purpose, the present economic condition should prevail further. If there are big changes, there would be suspicion among the investors. They should have confidence to start investments in Sri Lanka. He said as an investor, he is happy to contribute to the country's development. Emeritus Professor P.S. Sirivitanage said that after the country was declared bankrupt, the president and the government has been able to resolve the situation within a period of 2 years. This is due to the positive economic policies implemented by the president. Sri Lanka has been directed to a conducive atmosphere.
A fundamental rights petition has been filed before the Supreme Court requesting to issue an interim order to prevent the holding of the presidential election. It has been filed by a businessman in the Moratu area. The petitioner has requested not to hold the presidential election until the Supreme Court gives its interpretation regarding the ending period of President's office term. The petitioner has named the Election Commission, its chairman and the members of the Attorney General as respondents of the issue. Under the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, the term of the office of the President has been amended. The petitioner pointed out, therefore, the certain ambiguity has arisen regarding the end of the President's term.
The road development projects scheduled to be implemented in the Homagama electorate were officially started today under the patronage of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena. These projects have been implemented under foreign loans. The road from Wagama to Diagama will be developed under the loan of OPEC organization. Saudi government has granted funds for the reconstruction of Homagama to Godagama road. In addition, the newly developed Pitipana junction under the ADB funds was vested with the public today. The pavement of the Pitipana junction has been widened to minimize the traffic congestion there. The color light system or the traffic light system has also been modernized. Minister Dr. Bandula Guruvardhana said that whoever become the president of this country, the loans of the government should be less than 95% of the GDP. Sri Lanka's gross necessity of finance should be less than 13% of the GDP. Even though the government needs huge sum of money, it can't print money due to IMF conditions. A draft bill titled Economic Transformation Bill has been presented to the Parliament to maintain the relevant economic conditions. Therefore, no political party can work disregarding these conditions. The findings and preliminary recommendations report from the recently concluded National Symposium of Catalyzing Change, Making Local Governance Future Fit, carried out by the United Nations Development Programme, has been handed over this morning to Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena.
The report was officially handed over by a resident representative of UNDP in Sri Lanka, Azusa Kubota. The National Symposium was co-convened by the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government, the European Union delegations in Sri Lanka and the UNDP in Sri Lanka. The dialogue created a platform for foster productive exchange of insights and best practices among stakeholders concerning local governance, drawing extensively from the lessons and experience gained over the past 5 years. Working with alongside 134 local authorities in 4 provinces in the country through the capacity development of the local government project funded by the European Union, the report is informed by experience of experts, practitioners and multiple stakeholders that participated and will aim to inform the shaping of future trajectory of governance in Sri Lanka, ensuring it remains adaptive, resilient and well positioned to meet the challenges of tomorrow's development landscape, according to the UNDP. Head of Cooperation at the European Union delegation to Sri Lanka and Maldives, Johannes Hezi, and Secretary of the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Pradeep Yasaratna, were also present at this occasion.
The trade union action planned by the trade unions of Inland Revenue and the Excise Department has been suspended. This decision has been taken with the mediation of State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya. The State Minister has given a written pledge to solve the demands of these trade unions with his mediation. Accordingly, the trade unions say that the strike action planned in the Inland Revenue and Excise Departments tomorrow and the day after has been suspended. According to the agreements made at the discussion held in the State Ministry of Finance yesterday, the written pledge has been handed over to the relevant trade unions. Now, the first copy of the magazine titled Centenary Celebration of Reed Avenue, compiled by the Colombo Royal College, was presented to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the President's office yesterday.
Editor of the magazine, student Shakil S. Dharmawardhana, presented it to the President. 100 years have passed after establishing Royal College in Reed Avenue. Historicity of the school, arts, culture and excellence, beginning of the school, evolution and traditions of the Colombo Royal College are included in this magazine. Information of political leaders and excellent academics created by Royal College is also included in the magazine. Principal Tilak Wattuheva and a large crowd were present at this occasion.
The opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that a system will be prepared to inform the farmers about the cultivation patterns through smartphones. He made this comment at a program held in the Nagapokuna Primary School in Hinguragoda. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that there is no proper cultivative pattern in the country at present. All the farmers cultivate both in the Yala and Maha seasons at once. They reap the harvest at the same time and issue their produce to the market at the same time. Usually people know that if the supply is high, the demand becomes low. What is the solution for this? Regarding the cultivative patterns, the proper time to issue the harvest to the market and many other information can be sent to the farmers through technical apps to the smartphones. Then the farmer can get to know the relevant cultivative patterns in Hinguragoda, Alahara and other areas of the Polonnaruwa district.
Minister Nirmal Siripala De Silva confirmed that Sri Lankan Airlines will undergo restructuring instead of being sold. Addressing a press briefing titled Collective Path to a Stable Country at the Presidential Media Centre today, Minister Siripala De Silva further elaborated. Mr. Siripala De Silva said that the International Monetary Fund is actively involved in the restructuring process based strictly on legal framework, regulations and objective criteria without regard to personal considerations. He said that Sajid Premadasan noted examples such as Argentina, Ecuador and Ghana, which have successfully negotiated a 25% reduction in commercial loans distinct from bilateral debt. He said that the discussions on restructure commercial debt within Sri Lanka are ongoing, with evolving criteria influenced by the IMF assessment of each country's economic resilience. He said that it is stressed that pursuing narrow political objectives without acknowledging international accepted realities could be inappropriate in such context.
Leader of the National People's Power, Anurakumara Dissanayake, says that he will take measures to hold all elections after he was elected as the president. He made this remark addressing a rally of farmers held in Suryavava area. The public rally was held under the title of Power of Farmers to Build Up the Country. A large crowd with the NPP public representatives were present at the rally. Leader of the National People's Power, Anurakumara Dissanayake, said that they can start it from the top level this time. Earlier, we thought to start from the Suryavava Pradeshya Sabha. Later, the government postponed the local government election. Now that the presidential election is around the corner, there is only 3 months to hold the election. Soon after the NPP win the presidential election, the parliament will be dissolved. Then all postponed elections will be held. This time, the country's power will be shifted to a new team.
A discussion on the future political condition of the country was held yesterday at Podujana Peramuna Party headquarters at Nelumawatha in Batharamulla. The discussion was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The founder of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Basil Rajapaksa, and a number of political leaders participated in the discussion. Later, they expressed their views to media. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that many issues, including presidential election, were discussed at this meeting. There is no rift between the government and the SLPP. Powerful group of parliamentarians are in cohort to a party. After all, the election has not yet been notified by the Gazette. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Parliamentarian Sagar Karyavasam, said that no discussion was held regarding the candidacy in the upcoming presidential election.
And we have more news from home in brief. 2 persons were killed in a fire erupted at a line room in the Panavatta estate in Yatiyadura. Police suspect an electric leak was the cause for the fire. About 5 line rooms have been destroyed by the fire. The victims were identified as a couple aged 60 and 50 years. One of the biggest GO transport vessel ever arrived in the Colombo harbour last night. Sri Lanka Port Authority says that it berthed in the eastern terminal. The 400-metre long vessel is able to carry about 25,000 containers at a time. The vessel left the Colombo harbour for Tarjun harbour this afternoon. The Chinese government has agreed to further expand opportunities for Sri Lanka to export agricultural crops to India, or China rather. Accordingly, tea, coconut, pineapples, spices and fisheries products will be prioritized. Minister Mahinda Amaravira revealed these facts at a discussion held in his ministry today with Chinese Vice Minister of Customs Wang Lingjun. The Hindi devotees who visit the Katharagama Devalaya for its annual Aslam festival in Padayatra from the hill country areas have reached Vellavaya and Buttala towns today. And that's all the news we have for home. We'll be coming back with international stories after this break.
පහේ හප්පලුන් විශිෂ්ටත්වයට රැගෙන යන
Hurricane Beryl was now a Category 5 storm, meaning its winds and storm surges could provide catastrophic. The storm made landfall on Monday in Caracol, an island which is part of Grenada. 3 people were reported dead so far as a result of the storm, 2 in Grenada and 1 in St. Vincent. Beryl hit land on Monday as a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 150 miles per hour. The United States National Hurricane Center have stated that Caracol had taken a direct hit from Hurricane Beryl's extremely dangerous eye wall, a ring of thunderstorms which produces heavy rain and particularly strong winds. Now on sports news, Sri Lankan athletes Tharushi Karunaratne and Dilhani Lekhamge have qualified for the Paris Olympics this time.
The website of the World Athletic Association officially announced this news. Olympic Games this year is scheduled to begin in Paris from 26th July to the 11th of August. The deadline for Olympics qualifications for athletes ended on the 30th of June. Accordingly, the list of qualified athletes was officially announced yesterday, and Tharushi Karunaratne and Dilhani Lekhamge has directly qualified for the Games. 48 women athletes have qualified for the 800 meters running event this time. Tharushi Karunaratne is at the 45th place among them. 19-year-old Tharushi won gold medals at the Asian Games and Asian Championship Athletic Tournament this year. Tharushi Karunaratne said that this is a dream from the childhood to take part in Olympic Games. She said that she hopes to do her best in the Paris Olympics. Meanwhile, 32 athletes have qualified for the women's javelin throw event. Dilhani Lekhamge is at the 26th position. Dilhani Lekhamge said that she has a huge expectation to become the first 12 athletes of the Paris Olympics. She is very happy to complete such a difficult journey towards the Olympics.
A ceremony was held recently to felicitate the captain of the Sri Lanka women's cricket team, Chamari Athapattu. It has been organised at her alma mater, Ibbagamma Central College premises. Principal Niranjala Kolambage, staff and all Students Association have jointly organised the ceremony. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket, Shami Silva, former principals and staff members of the Ibbagamma Central College and present staff and former cricket coaches were also present at this event. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also sent a felicitation message to Chamari Athapattu. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket, Shami Player Silva, pledged to provide financial grant for the ongoing renovations of the Flock School playground. Sri Lanka Cricket will also provide no window cricket training centre and fitness to the school. Chamari Athapattu also donated a sum of 1 million rupees to her school.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm Dilanjali together with Owen signing off. Good night.
Good night.